The dragon leader ordered an assault, and all of the dragons charged at once. Meanwhile, the skellies on our boy's side shot into the air. The two forces collided almost instantly, and the sound of weapons clashing filled the air. The dragons, already startled by the skeleton's monstrous strength, quickly noted the strange green mist wrapping around every bony summons. And the moment they get too close, poison began seeping in. Clearly, the Lich General has buffed the skellies with poisonous ring. The damage wasn't high individually, but with so many of them stacked together, the effect became overwhelming. Numerous dragons began to feel sick, and the skeletons, noticing this weakness, swung their axes without hesitation. And just like that, the first wave of enemies fell. Lin, meanwhile, remarked that sheer numbers meant nothing to him. Red light burst from his hand as he cast Corpse Explosion. Ironically, the dragon's proud puppets became his ammunition. The moment the first corpse detonated, a rapid chain of explosions followed, one after another, each blast expanding the fiery radius. Before long, half the sky glowed red. Furthermore, the enemy fleets that had just arranged themselves for an assault were caught in the blasts, dropping from the air like burning meteors. Lin took a slow breath and noted, almost casually, how beautiful it looked. Anyway, on the other side, the dragons descended into full panic. They fled desperately, abandoning their warships in their rush. But this time Lin had no intention of letting them escape. Countless bone shackles shot forward, wrapping tightly around the dragons. Many were so frantic they didn't even cleanse the curse in time, giving the skellies all the opportunity they needed to overtake them. In the distance, the skeletal archmage and sharpshooters had already begun chanting. A storm of elemental explosions and arrows rained down as the skeletal berserkers charged in to finish the job. Before long, the entire battlefield echoed with screams and the thuds of dragon bodies plummeting from the sky. Seeing his people fall, the dragon leader's eyes burned red, and he declared that Lin must die. In the next instant, power surged across his body, energy bursting outward as his form shifted. He had triggered his bloodline awakening. His body expanded rapidly, shifting from humanoid shape into a massive dragon. The bloodline's power wasn't something even they used lightly. Its strain on the body was immense, but as long as he could kill Lin, he no longer cared. The leader let out a roar as he shattered the skeletal prison. He then tells Lin that he is doomed, that the ancestral blood grants him divine power, and that he will use Lin's blood to honor the fallen of his clan. No sooner had he finished speaking, the leader lunged forward, smashing a colossal foot down onto Lin. Yet our boy didn't even budge. His skeletal armor showed only a faint crack, prompting him to ask mockingly whether the leader had forgotten to eat breakfast. So comes another stomp. This one is far stronger. The blow landed dead center on Lin and completely shattered his skeletal armor, instantly triggering lifelink and damage transfer. Nevertheless, Lin kept mocking him, asking whether that was truly his full power. He remarked that perhaps the so-called dragon bloodline was not much after all. The leader froze in disbelief, seeing Lin standing there entirely unharmed. During that brief hesitation, Lin unleashed bone spikes. Thick, razor-sharp spikes shot out and pierced straight through the leader's body. Now the leader was fully enraged, especially after Lin's insult toward the dragon bloodline. A massive spectral figure appeared behind him, jaws opening wide. Lin sensed a serious threat, and in the next instant, several tornado-like strikes spiraled toward him. Lin noted that the attack was impressive, strong enough perhaps to cost him a few skeletons, though it still couldn't truly hurt him. But what he did not expect was that the leader merely used the technique to stall for time. By the time the winds cleared, the dragon leader had already fled far into the distance. Lin stood there speechless, saying this was unexpected. He'd thought the leader intended to fight to the death, only to realize he'd taken the chance to run. All around, remnants of the floating fortresses were still raining down, then slowly drawn into the secret realm entrance. And just then, Lin leveled up. After slaying so many dragon warlords, he finally reached level 53. He approached the secret realm, wondering what the dragons had been hiding inside those fortresses. He got curious and fully intended to explore. He reached out a hand, expecting to be transported inside just like usual. But the next second, the realm pushed him back. He blinked in surprise, asking himself why he was rejected. Thinking quickly, he looked down at the primordial rune on his hand and realized he was still in his trial period. For the next 10 days, until the red pillar above him faded, he could enter no dungeons, no secret realms, nor could he leave this level of the eternal trial grounds. Frustrated, but knowing there's nothing he can do, he decided he would return when the time came. At that very moment, Our boy sensed a powerful presence. Lin's expression shifts in an instant as he senses the real demon lords forcing their way through the eternal trial grounds. He's already slain 2 avatars before, but that doesn't mean he can take on the real thing. The problem is, he's still trapped by the trial with nowhere to run. So the only thing he can think of is to detonate the poison god's essence blood as he stalls for time and thinks of a way out. The area quickly floods with poisonous mist. Before long, a massive silhouette emerges. First to show itself was the level 91 Fire Spirit Demon Lord. Meanwhile, another voice asks him whether Lin is still there. The Fire Spirit Demon Lord seems stalled by the green mist and doesn't attack immediately. But Lin notes the abyssal flame wasn't fading, and that can only mean one thing. More than one Demon Lord is descending, realizing the situation has spiraled completely out of control, especially with the Fire Spirit Demon Lord growing impatient and planning to seize him before the others arrive, and then run back for a reward. But the Demon Lord seriously underestimates the poison. The moment it touches the mist, he's shocked to find he can't withstand its corrosion. He immediately retreats out of the haze and tells Lin to stop resisting, claiming his flame can burn away every trace of poison. He even adds that once the poison is gone, Lin will be for sure dead. Our boy, meanwhile, doesn't give a single damn about what the guy is boasting. He's too busy scrambling through his storage space trying to find anything usable. But the more he checks, the worse it looks. During the primordial rune trial, even abyssal teleport stones are disabled, and not even Antares' dragon pearl can get him out. And then, more figures appear in the distance, each radiating a terrifying aura. Lin immediately confirms his suspicions. The abyss has deployed more than one demon lord. Suddenly, he remembers the teleport stone that allows him to return to the ancient imperial city. It can't take him out of the lower level, but at least it can get him out of this mess for now. On the other side, the Fire Spirit Demon Lord pushes through the poison with full strength. After a tremendous struggle, he finally rips the toxic mist apart, only to find the place completely empty. The Demon Lords quickly realize Lin must have used a teleport stone. Still, they're sure he hasn't left the lower level. The Ice Flame Demon Lord and the Umbral Demon Lord arrive and remark that the primordial rune can only exist on the level where it's found. Their only logical destination is the human ancient imperial city. Without hesitation, they all march straight toward it. The scene shifts. Lin appears atop the teleport array as a red pillar of light erupts from the city walls. Everyone freezes at the sudden flare. Some exclaim that it must be a primordial rune. Others celebrate that one of their own has claimed it. Naturally, the commotion draws the attention of the Legion commander. Feng Yiming and his officers rush over, only to discover, somewhat stunned, that the source of the red light is on top of Lin, and he was surprised Lin had acquired yet another primordial rune. Lin doesn't waste time on reunions. He turns sharply and urgently tells Feng that he's currently being hunted by 5 demon lords, then asks whether the city has any means of resisting them. Feng gulped nervously, hearing all that, then a burst of cold sweat soaking straight through his clothes. He looks completely scattered for a moment, and even asks again, as if hoping he misheard. 5 demon lords? Ever since he took command of the ancient imperial city, he has never seen such levels of mobilization, especially just to hunt one man. Forcing himself to breathe steadily, he tells Lin there's nothing to worry about, adding that the city has survived thousands of years in the lower level for a reason. With that said, he turns and roars for everyone to prepare, saying the demons are coming, and orders to activate the defensive barrier. Orders ripple outward like shockwaves. Panic lasts only a heartbeat before all of the human professionals rush to join the Legion, readying themselves for the oncoming battle. The moment one climber reaches the wall, he urgently points toward the horizon. A massive demon army approaches, endless and swarming. Suddenly, the sky outside the city turns completely dark as the demons have already reached the air above. Then a golden tower rises from within the city, none other than the Thunder Tower, the ancient city's sacred guardian treasure. A heartbeat later, a colossal barrier expands outward, enveloping the entire city. The demons halt. A leading demon lord demands they hand over Lin, threatening to slaughter everyone otherwise. Feng steps beside the floating tower, smiling coldly as he remarks that the demon lord can keep dreaming. He follows with a mocking chuckle and asks how long demon lords can even stay in the lower level and how many times they can actually strike. With just this ragtag swarm, they expect to destroy the ancient city, which Feng believed to be truly laughable. His words ignite the demon lord's fury. They launch simultaneous attacks, but Feng's control over the tower holds firm. The blows crash against the barrier and fail to penetrate. At that moment, the spire beside him flares violently, Electric arcs whirl across its surface, then a bolt of lightning erupts from the tower and engulfs the entire demon army in an instant. Explosions echo non-stop, mixed with the demon's screams. But the blast drains Feng significantly. Controlling the tower is clearly no simple task. Lin immediately asks if he's all right. Feng insists he's fine, explaining that the tower contains a thunder core. To unleash its full might, the user must withstand the lightning themselves, but admits that even he can only barely handles it. At the mention of lightning, Lin remarks that he wants to try. Feng freezes, uncertain, and asks if he was sure. Lin simply says to trust him, and places both hands on the tower. Instantly, torrents of lightning coil around him, but he remains perfectly unharmed. Meanwhile, the professionals across the ancient city finally understand what sparked this catastrophe. The demons have emptied their nests to kill the human who just obtained a second primordial rune. Clearly, the upper echelons of the abyss already fear Divine General Lin's rapid rise, and since he is a prodigy of the human race, they now feel an overwhelming urgency to protect him. The demon lords, seeing time slip away, had no choice but to order a full-on assault, ordering their men to slaughter the ancient city. Meanwhile, Lin focuses on the tower, still trying to control it.